So, my name is Victor, and it's a confession. I'm challenging Google in Vietnam. It's like I'm an alcoholic. Yeah, you have to confess, but you have to confess, right? Otherwise, you can't. So I'm challenging Google. Okay, actually, that's not that crazy, yeah, because in Russia, you know, Yandex is the most popular actually search engine, and it was actually created long before Google was launched. So for many Russians, Google is a copycat of Yandex. Yandex was launched in 1996 when Brill and Page were just PhD students. It was launched and almost immediately actually became a company with revenues and profits. They were losing money sometimes, yeah, but now it's a Russian unicorn. Like you guys consider unicorn as something like having no revenue, big losses, and big market capitalization. In Russia, it's usually vice versa. Big revenue, huge profits, and low capitalization. So that's what's Yandex. Now, I'm not actually from Yandex. I'm not advertising you to buy Yandex shares. Maybe there's a reason why capitalization is so low. So I'm from another camp. I'm actually a co-founder of Mail.ru. Mail.ru also actually quite popular email service. I remember several years ago when, actually not several, maybe a decade already ago, when Gmail was launched, there was another guy asking me like, I told him like I'm from Mail.ru's email service, and the guy asked me like, how Mail.ru is better than Gmail? And I told him like, you know, the thing is that at that time, Mail.ru had 40 million users. So I asked him like, probably Gmail has to explain how Gmail is better than Mail.ru. And because it maybe was not much better, then Mail.ru is still a very popular company and now owns 3 more social networks more popular than Facebook in Russia. So Russia is very competitive in the sense of engineering talent. So what we're doing, we're actually bringing engineers from Russia to Vietnam to help Vietnamese companies, to help this Vietnamese actually company quite successfully challenge Google. So how do we do this? Actually, still Vietnam is mostly desktop actually. Yeah, we do this both in mobile and in desktop market, but now most of our users, you see this 17 million is actually audience. This is audience of our browser. So we're in search business, yeah, but to engage people in doing search, yeah, we decided that for desktops it's simpler to distribute them a browser and then out of the browser make them use our search. So many people ask me like, how did you manage to have 17 million active monthly users in Vietnam? What did you do? So, like, you see, this is a sample. For example, this one, yeah, Vietnamese language. There are many accents, some like diacritics. And for example, one of the features of our browser, if you type any text using our browser, this is the example. So these are like few of the features. When you type something with no accents, actually browser has predictive diacritics. It suggests you these Vietnamese tones. So Vietnamese is like Chinese, it's tonal language, but also they have, besides tones, they have ways of pronouncing vowels. So as a result, every vowel has like 12 or 18 different variants how it can be pronounced. So we created a browser which has many for desktops because we actually will have two speakers. Next day, Katya will tell more about mobile app, and I just want to tell the old business model how we are doing this. Yeah, so we have many features, and local search is just like a part of the competitive advantage that we have. So it's quite simple, right? So like if we are a browser at a desktop, we don't have this problem of passing. So like all the browsers now, Chrome, Firefox, Safari, whatever, now they know geolocation of a user. Like even if you have a laptop, right? If you connect to Wi-Fi networks, even if you don't connect to Wi-Fi network, but if you have your Wi-Fi adapter switched on, then your computer actually is able to determine your location, and especially when you are indoors, actually your locations is, if you determine it by Wi-Fi networks, obviously it's more accurate than GPS, yeah, because you don't see GPS satellites when you are indoors, but location determined by Wi-Fi quite often is actually more accurate than the one you determine by GPS, and especially that in a country like Vietnam, actually it's a very hot country, yeah, and people actually prefer stay indoors. Yeah, so actually most of the traffic, which is location-based, surprisingly accuracy of location detection for desktops, it's higher than for cell phones if cell phones switch off Wi-Fi and only use 3G and GPS satellites. So if you type some search query, this is an example of a search query that you can do using our browser. Then our browser, because search is a part of the browser, yeah, we don't have to ask a user, would you like to share your location with the search engine? We just pass this location to search. As a result, you may see the this is location of a user is actually our office, yeah, and this is location of a nearby alfresco pizza restaurant. Yeah, so we are able actually to show you in search results, not like Google is doing, like trying to show everything, yeah, but exactly the location which is nearby to you. This is an example of Google. If you do same query to Google out our office, then the location will be like 5 kilometers away, not actually in a walking distance. You have to drive, yeah, but actually there is another alfresco nearby. So we actually collected this Katya will tell tomorrow. We collected actually a huge database of POIs all around Vietnam. She will tell more about methodology. I'm just telling, like in overall, local search for us is a competitive advantage because we use this like unusual model. This is how we monetize. Yeah, so actually the big challenge for a local search engine is how you monetize your local search results. Yeah, because mostly actually for example for our cell phone app, around maybe 40% of the queries that we have are actually addresses. Yeah, so people are searching for some particular place. Yeah, and if they search for a particular place, then the problem is if you want to advertise some other place, then this other place maybe people will not go anyway because they already made a decision where they want to go. Yeah, so actually monetization model is actually the same. So like in terms of the end user, we are a bit different. So Google is a website which has a small browser comparing to the market share in the small, right? And we are vice versa. We have a browser, and local search is like maybe not very small, but part of the business. But in terms of monetization, our monetization is the same. We actually have web search engine. You can search for any website, and search results that you see, we sell similarly to Google. It's an auction, actually the second price auction, with many players now participating in Vietnam in this auction. So that's these are like few slides what actually we were able to achieve with this model, and we are actually website #1 in Vietnam according to Alexa. Maybe Alexa does not calculate Vietnam very good, yeah, because it means like we are more popular than Facebook and Google. Probably it's not so. Yeah, we have Alexa reports like 3.4 million daily visitors. Actually, maybe we have around 4 million, but I'm not sure actually regarding Facebook and Google how much they have. Probably quite similar amount, and around 20 million monthly users. That's according to Alexa. Like we think it's 20 million is maybe a bit overestimate. We more believe into 17 million. And this is market share of browsers by traffic. So again, we're a local search, yeah, but for end users, yeah, to engage them, we actually a browser, yeah. And when we compare market shares, we compare market shares of browser. So you may see the green line is, I'm not sure if it's very clear. So this line is Google Chrome, so it's still #1. Yeah, but this black line is our browser, CocCoc. It's last year. So now we have, in October, we have 25% market share by traffic. And Firefox is decreasing, Internet Explorer is decreasing. This is Safari, but actually this chart is desktop browsers, right? So like in cell phones actually situation is a bit different. We still #2, yeah, but Safari, if we combine with the mobile platform, Safari is more popular because in mobile platform we are just directly local search app. And one more slide, actually, what we did. So all the audience actually that we got as a result, because we really created a browser which has really awesome features, which is really demanded by the local audience, and this is Google Trends. So people going to Google when they want to install a browser, they actually this blue. So we launched in May 2013. So we grew from almost 0 to be now the most downloaded browser now in Vietnam. So the amount of downloads of Chrome and Firefox is like maybe even combined is still significantly less than number of new installations of our browser, which means like in the previous slide we have like 25% market share, yeah, but because now most of the browsers being installed in Vietnam is our browser, it means that we will have actually the dominant position once all the people finally download the browsers, but once they renovate their operating system, upgrade or whatever, yeah, we will actually be #1. So actually, I didn't want to actually talk too much and leave time to other speakers. Katya, tomorrow she will tell more about the specifics, how we collect POI database, how we process it and everything. And I just wanted to make it like a short teaser of what we do. If you guys have some questions, I would be glad to answer.
Thank you, Victor. Thank you. Please join me in thanking Victor. I had by the way, the audience can raise their hand if they have a question for Victor, and we have a mic. Actually, we have one right over here. I'll let you ask the questions instead of me.
What was your marketing spend to get this #2 position then in Vietnam?
So actually, we didn't spend much to marketing. What we were doing, we were advertising our browser. So like when people go, this happened, so let me go back to this chart. So until this time, we actually advertised at Google. So like you go to Google, you type Chrome at Google, and there is an ad showing like why would you, there's an ad, if you type Chrome at Google, there's an ad saying something like you don't actually need Chrome, yeah, you need our browser because it's better than Chrome. It's actually based on Chromium engine, yeah, so there is no disadvantage, there is only advantage. So so Google, and because there are no other browsers, and Google is the second price auction, yeah, the amount of money that we pay for such a query is almost 0. So it's literally 1 cent per, so cost of installation for such a model was literally 1 cent because no second bidder. But Google, in January this year, they actually banned our marketing campaign. Actually, that's actually a big discussion. In Europe, this would be illegal. Yeah, because it's like antitrust issue. You cannot ban your competitors from advertising at your agent if they are ready to pay a fair price, which is for Google the second price auction, which is like almost zero, right? So they ban us, like telling like we violate some terms of service of YouTube. That's very awesome. Yeah, we responded by expanding our terms of service, making sure that Google violates our terms of service. Yeah, of course we do nothing to Google, but now we don't actually need any marketing, so our marketing spending is almost zero. Yeah, now it's mostly organic traffic. But we used to fight Google with Google.
You were lucky. Thank you. Any other questions? We have another one back here.
Thank you. First of all, very interesting presentation. I would like to know how you're actually selling the ad space and the rankings. Do you actually have a sales force, or you're doing it in another way? Thank you.
So good question. So when we actually were launching monetization, I was talking to many people, especially from Yandex. I asked them, like, because Yandex, they have now 6,000 people, and maybe one half of the people are actually salespeople. Maybe a bit less than one half, but a lot. Like more than 1,000 people at Yandex are salespeople. And I asked their chief of sales, I asked, like, you guys, but they also sell through agencies. I asked, like, what would you recommend us to do? And the guy told, like, you guys should not have in-house sales. You should only rely on agencies and maybe do some support. Don't do sales. And I asked him, like, but why did you do this? Like, he told, like, maybe it was a mistake. Now, because now it's a problem. Yandex strategy and our strategy also. Like, when we sell, so Google usually they ask agencies to charge to charge on top, like for account management. Usually, normally Google is not giving any discount except in a situation when they want to reimburse VAT. Yeah, and some agencies, they like having this discount, let's say, yeah, but actually not paying VAT. So this is the way they get a commission. So, but we pay commission to agencies, and Yandex paying commission to agencies, right? So in this situation, when you have in-house sales, there's a problem, right? Because if you pay commission to agency, then agency is able to pass these commissions to clients, which makes your in-house sales force not very competitive. Yeah, because they don't have this discount. They cannot pass anything to the client. But we actually were forced to create in-house sales. So this system is fully automatic. Again, you come to website, you click. There is no link in here. Usually the link is to the right. It's just not visible in the screenshot. You click the link, like put advertising here. You click the link. It's a self-service system. You put your ads. You put your bids. All the same like Google. But we still need salespeople, because like when you're a newcomer to market, agencies, they actually don't want to take you. Yeah, whatever you tell, like you tell, we have 17 million people. They say you like, okay, we're very glad for you. That's a good achievement, but we don't want to resell you. They only want to resell something that can immediately bring them money. Yeah. So once we start to generate some revenue, then agencies immediately actually walked in, and started actually taking our direct clients. We are actually quite happy about this, because serving clients is a big challenge in Asia. You have to be. We're actually, in the reality, we are quite foreign company. We are not really Vietnamese, because almost all the people working actually they are either Russians or Vietnamese people who used to live in Russia or like in Russian-speaking countries like Ukraine. So it's a nice question. I would prefer that we don't do any sales ourselves, but in the reality we have to have a sales force. We have around 50 people now doing front-end sales, and the total amount of people like sales and sales support is like around 100 now.
So how much of your business is self-service? Is it a very small percentage right now? self-service advertising?
So technically it's all self-service, yeah,
But,
but clients, they actually don't do the job. Yeah, agencies, like even agency, again, many agencies, they tell like, okay, I bring you the client. and regarding services, the client, yeah, it's all yours.
The
Yeah.
direct self-serve from the customer.
So in terms of the number of clients, again, most of them are direct, yeah, but in terms of the revenue, yeah, most of the money that we have actually is through agencies.
Yeah.
Now we have around 3,000 clients. 90% of these 3,000 is actually direct clients, yeah, but the remaining 10% actually generate.
Revenue comes from the 10%.
Yeah, so like the biggest amount of revenue now is generated by small amount of clients, but of course in the future hopefully this will change, yeah, because we have quite a long tail monetization model. Anyone, even like if you have $5 a month budget, you still can advertise and you still can have clicks and customers.